wondered, because we have these conversations, so we're having this chat just now, and I'm very aware of the phenomenon of an echo chamber. You get it on social media and think, oh, you think everybody agrees with me. It's because you surround yourself with people who are kind of similar, but even getting outside my echo chamber, I do find that there's a lot of sympathy for these ideas, especially among parents as well, who don't want their children to have the same experience as they did. And I think it's become clear on quite a big scale. And what seems to be happening is that people are just not waiting. Higher education's in the middle, saying to get in here, you must have this list of numbers, grades. But there's schools saying, well, we don't want to work with that. So you're not going to get that here, but you have to understand that that's not a pathway into higher education. But companies are fine with it. Like you said earlier, they don't really care. They want a particular thing, and the thing in the middle, the higher education, is not always the way to get it. So people are just going round. They're just going to choose their most direct route, and that's the sad thing, is that education can be a joyful, enriching experience if it's done in the right way, and it should be the central part of our development. But it's just not. It's not there for us.
Yeah. And what you say is true, and I think that but the problem is that I see that with friends, with their kids, and I see that from very close people of mine. Even if they know this, they still get caught up into the fact that they're afraid of putting their kids into something different.
Yeah.
Because it's the life of their kids, and because everybody around is doing the same thing, so they should still, we're gonna do this. I'm afraid of myself doing that, for my daughter. Because get caught up in the fact, okay, well, yeah, but what happens if we go somewhere else? What happens if this? What happens? Okay, well, you know what? We're going to put in a French school, right? Because, the French system in Barcelona, and because everybody says it's still okay anyway. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right? And we are, it's a market at the end of the day, right? If there's more demand, there's going to be more offers. As simple as this is. Problem is that right now the systems that are different, alternative, like I would say, are much more expensive as well. And this is a reality. When you have to spend €1,500 for your kid every month to be in school, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And there's in Bali, because I go there a lot and I lived there at some point as well. In Bali, you have a very famous school, and they teach. It's amazing. It's like you see it, you want to be there, even if you're not 12 years old. And it's all about, making the world a better place. Okay, and it's amazing. But last time I was there, I met someone. We were surfing, and there was this guy next to me, and a Australian guy. And we started to talk, and he tells me that his kid is there. I'm like, oh wow, okay. I never met a parent with the kids there. Okay, so I started to ask a lot of questions, and then the guy said, yeah, it's amazing, but the reality is that these kids that in this school, they're trying to make the world a better place. Yes, but we're talking about kids from very rich families. All of the kids there are from very, very, very rich families, because it costs like €1,500 to €2,000 to put your kids every month there. And let's be realistic, to have that kind of money, it's money, it's a lot, especially in Bali, right? So, and he was telling me that he has a friend, his father is a billionaire. Okay, it's like, okay, well, how are we going to teach kids to be changing the world if they don't understand the world, right? If they are only with kids that are from a very, very, very small percentage of the population, and specifically people that don't have the problems of the world that they're trying to tackle. So it just doesn't make sense. And that's where I said, okay, well, would I want my daughter to be there? I'm not sure, even if the system is amazing. I have a school downstairs here in Borne, just in my street. Sorry, I'm just the last thing, but it's a public school. And you will look at it and you would like, wow, I don't want my daughter to be in that school. Because it's really like, it looks like law and public. But what I see every day, I see all the nationalities possible in that school. All of them. All the colors, everything. And this I like, right? And this is not what I had. And this interests me. The problem is that the system in itself doesn't interest me a lot. But this, so you know what I mean? So or it's alternative elitist and this and that, or it's public and super diversified, which is great because it's the world today, but the system is wrong. So we're just going to have to find a solution for that. Seth Godin says that he puts his kids in public school, but he homeschool them and trying to resolve problems all the time. But he wants them to be in public school so they can see the real world. Yeah.
But
anyway,
isn't that innovation? That's what we talk about. You're taking bits and pieces from here and there and improving the system, right?
Exactly. That's innovation entirely. But that's a big system to change, right? So
yeah, I think you need to start your own school, Antoine. I think you need to. That needs to be your next venture.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait a bit for that, but yeah, I'm doing it for entrepreneurs as the first step. But ultimately, I would love to do that. I think education is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's a big fight. I think it's a big fight.
Yeah.
The most important fight, I think, of the world. It's education. Yeah, and that's the fight foundation, right?
Yeah, but it makes me happy every time I meet somebody like yourself that's in education and is in it for the right reasons, you know, and has that outlook, because that's how it change might be slow when it comes from within, but you know it will happen.
It will, it will happen. It will happen. It has to happen.
Absolutely. Antoine, I would like to end on a positive note and more of an aspirational question. So there's a lot of collaboration, right, in this entrepreneurial ecosystem. But what about those kids that we have nowadays that say, okay, either I'm a serial entrepreneur kind of person, or as you said, I'm not creative, I'm an executor, but the ideas are not mine, right? So we do have those profiles. And we were talking last week with Claudia Rodriguez from the Universidad San Ignacio de Loyola and David Lipkin from Lift Learning in the United States around the trend of school dropouts who are actually nowadays, a lot of them are entrepreneurs. And the big reason maybe is because they don't fit in the system. But then how do you actually create a collaborative culture where you push those serial entrepreneur kind of profile to actually enable a whole ecosystem of collaboration and, again, either entrepreneurship or intrapreneurship, but driven by those schemes that we talked about before around skills more than actual courses that you see at school?
Well, you said it yourself. I mean, it's collaboration. It's entrepreneurship is a lifestyle, right? It's not. I don't go home and I stop being an entrepreneur, right? It's not that. I go home and I am, and it's really a mindset. That's why we use a lot the term mindset when it comes to entrepreneurship. It's not only about the skills, but it's about the mindset. It's about how you behave, and you know. And this is what we have to teach as well. What does it mean for an entrepreneur with his wife, right? What does it mean for his family? What does it mean? You know, it's all connected. So because of that, it's a community. It's a very strong community at the end. It's a very big community, but we relate to each other as, hey, that's an entrepreneur. That's enough, right? To relate to each other. It's quite incredible. So it's about collaboration. I think there is this. I think entrepreneurs, by definition, help others already. I think there is this thing. I think there is a natural, maybe not in the first time of your entrepreneurship journey, but I think that people do help each other, and I think there's a need to help those ones that you're saying. You just said something. You said the ones that don't have the ideas, the executioner, right? That's what you said. Personally, I don't care about the ideas. I think the ideas is the least of what you need. You know, ideas. Yeah. All right. What does that mean? What it means is how you're going to execute them. This is the real entrepreneur, is the executioner. That's what it is for me. So I think that if we can create this. It's already kind of happening, but connect all of these people together so entrepreneurship comes from everywhere. I think that that's the key here, right? Where does it? How entrepreneurship is going to pop up from everywhere? I see it in all the kids I teach that they think that they are not entrepreneurs, they're not going to be ones. What I try to do is to change this mindset.
Of course.
I try to change it because I think it can. I don't believe you have it since you were born. I think this is the biggest lie we tell ourselves. It's just there's tools and methodologies. Some that are going to be good at better at something than others. But execution is, it's about execution. What can you learn and how good can you be about it? And we talk a lot. There's the demystifying as well. There's the thing about you have to risk it all, and that's a big. This one is one of the biggest ones. Entrepreneurs are big risk takers. Well, actually, you should not be a big risk taker. You have too much to lose. You should have to be very cautious. You should have actually test all your ideas before you're going to put everything into it. This is what we try to do. This is what I try to do. And so if we implement all this, I think entrepreneurship can come out from everywhere, and this could be collaboration and be accessible. The entrepreneurship, actually, we have to make entrepreneurship more accessible. That's what I think. Because when you open YouTube, what you see those billionaire entrepreneurs, unicorns and stuff like that. No, you don't need to be that. Plus, maybe you don't want to be a billionaire. It's too much responsibility. It's too much. It's not nice. I mean, let's be realistic. If you talk to all of them, they don't have a good life. So let's stop this, right? So they have much more responsibility. You don't want to have 10,000 people working down on you. It's just too much, right? But I mean, this is my own opinion. But we have to make it more accessible. That everybody can have access to it without trying to be the next unicorn or whatever it is, right? And for that, we need to collaborate more. We need to teach more. We need to guide more. We need to be more in reality and not YouTube videos, by, Richard Branson and Damon John. Even these guys are amazing. What about the guy next door? How did he build his business? Right? That's what I want to know. What about the guy that is doing exactly what I do? So that's that's my big why, right? For me, it's this. I want to make it more accessible for people, and I think collaboration is key here because there's a strong community. So we have the community. Now we just have to make sure that this works out.
Well, Antoine, that's great. I think for me, I'm only starting my week. It's early morning here on a Monday, so that's fantastic. We're doing this talk with you, and it's very inspirational to continue having a great week ahead.
Yeah, I'm still on Monday. It's still day, but yeah, it's not the morning. But yeah, we're on the same page here to start the week, so that's good.
Yeah, thank you so much, Antoine. It's really, really interesting, and it's given me a lot to think about. As a lot of food for thought. I like a lot of the ways you were kind of expressing it, and I've certainly had my own experience in startups and entrepreneurship, and certainly relating a lot to a lot of the things you were saying there as well. It's just kind of going to take some time to go through it, but thank you so much. I think everyone's going to get quite a lot out of this one. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a great Monday and have a great week, I guess.
Thank you, Antoine.